So, in light of the most recent Smash DLC reveal,
All right.
Pyra and Mythra,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Shulk feels cheated that the Monado doesn't have gigantic bazongas?
That's a tough question. Are you actually familiar with Xenoblade Chronicles 1?
All right, you caught me. I don't know anything about.
So let's say I don't know anything about Shulk other than like I'm really feeling it, and that he's friends with like a guy with a goatee, a little man, and a mechanical girl who will help him out in his final smash. Right.
Right.
I do think he feels cheated because he's the main character of his series, and his sword is just like a big red pylon. Like it's not even really a sword. I would not call the Monado a sword. Because
Right.
without any energy in it, it's just like a blunt weapon.
It has more in common with it fits better in a Soul Calibur game than
Definitely, and as a joke weapon.
Yeah.
Like that would be Nightmare's joke weapon.
Yeah, here's a big red traffic cone.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do think Shulk probably feels a little cheated that like his game has like the worst stage in Smash Brothers by far, like even worse than Electroplankton.
That's a bold claim.
And I'm sticking to it. Like he has the worst stage, he has the worst assist trophy, because Ricky is the only assist trophy that can actively help your opponents. When he uses Happy Time, it buffs everybody on the stage, including your opponents. And then he's got a decent final smash, I suppose, but like that's it. And then what's Mythra got? Mythra and Pyra have 2 characters in one, another character in their victory screen, incredible level, incredible's like just moveset, and Shulk's like, I got like a regular counter that's kind of bad. Like,
Shulk is often stated in the community to be the character with the most potential.
even with the most potential, he was even a Shulk player playing their best at the highest potential is still worse than a mediocre Joker. Like, that's nothing to say of like an average Sephiroth or whatever the skill ceiling for Pyramithra is.
I don't think we found that yet. I think the skill ceiling is the ceiling of fire she creates when she up smashes.
Oh yeah, let's give the killing power of Bowser and Ridley with the hitbox of Byleth and the speed of Marth. That's balanced, right? Well, she's got big bazongas, so we had to give her something.
I am literally following an artist on Twitter called Nerf My Tit Boxes.
Yep, that's about it. That being said, though, I'm not sure Shulk would be as jealous because like they're swords. Like, yeah, they have big boo-boos, but like, what else do they have? They're just swords.
I mean, and that's where our like total lack of Xenoblade knowledge comes into play here.
Yeah, I
couldn't tell you.
I don't know, and you know what? I don't want to know. Pyramithra, you can keep whatever you have in your sword, all right? For all I care.
This is the Monado's power, and Rex is like, well, I can go on a date with my swords.
You have to date your swords, Rex? And then he goes home, and he's got like that crying face in the mirror. This is the Monado's power. Oh, I can date my swords. Like, you have to date your sword, Rex? Someone has to draw this now.
It's not going to be me.
All right.
I have been in such artist block, and I guarantee you that Pyra and Mythra are not going to be what breaks me out of it.
Not just drawing huge boo-boos on a stick?
I mean, I probably got some drawings from middle school that could suffice.
just dig something out from the year 2001 and say, like, look, I predated Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
There you go.
Well, despite the fact that I don't personally care for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I suppose it's still cool. And that's the name of our podcast. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is the It's Still Cool podcast, where we talk about stuff that's still cool, whether or not we actually like it.
So, something that is always persistent in the kinds of communities that we insist on participating in. Mm-hmm. That sentence could have been cut down quite a bit. Is like pre-release hype.
The
And
hype
right
machine.
now, we're sitting on a dangerous amount of...
We're sitting on a dynamite. We're
Yeah.
sitting on a whole stick of dynamite of hype.
Just within our own personal, scope of nerddom, we are minutes away from Monster Hunter Rise,
Yeah.
with Monster Hunter Stories 2 coming out soon after.
Yep.
We have 2 more DLC characters for Smash coming out.
We have no idea who they are.
Not a clue. We got Diamond and Pearl remakes.
And the new game set in Sinnoh still, because Sinnoh's the fan favorite right now. Because the people who grew up with Sinnoh now have all the disposable income.
Yep, it's their turn.
It's our turn now.
And
And a year's worth of Sonic news that didn't get revealed last year.
right. Oh my goodness. And also King Kong vs. Godzilla is coming out.
And for some reason Godzilla gets fucked up in the trailer. Which doesn't make any sense.
Kong is Big Monkey.
Godzilla's a nuclear bomb on legs.
Kong is Big Monkey.
No! Seize this.
It is a flawless argument.
Big Monkey. Well, is that why Donkey Kong's on the bottom of the tier list?
Is he?
Almost.
Oh no.
You're not a true Smash Brothers Ultimate DLC character if your first combo video isn't against Donkey Kong.
Gross. I love my Donkey Kong though.
I love him too. Everybody loves Donkey Kong. But Nintendo, when was the last Donkey Kong game, Nintendo?
Donkey Kong Country Fruitista Freeze.
Now with new funky mode.
Yes.
That's not a new game.
Yeah.
A new funky mode, as funky as it is not a new game. You can make it as funky as you want, Nintendo. I'm not falling for that.
So which one of those do we want to crack open first? Because we hit our mandatory Mario, Sonic and Pokemon.
Well, let's start with something that isn't Sonic or Pokemon, because all roads lead to Sonic and Pokemon.
Right.
So let's not start there. Let's start with Monster Hunter, which is something I'm less familiar with. But since our last podcast, which was Lost in the Sauce, much more has come out. So what's going on with it?
Well, so... Oh, goodness gracious me. So, first and foremost, Monster Hunter has been on this weird trajectory where they're kind of just... I guess to sum it up, they said in information about Rise, they're like, we're done numbering our games. Because each game is going to have its own identity.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So, Monster Hunter Generations, Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, and now Monster Hunter Rise are all going to be...
their own game.
And unique enough from one another.
Alright.
They're going to build off of one another, but Rise was apparently in production, development, through the release of World.
Well, I think that makes sense, because World was kind of a game as a service, and... so the lessons they were learning from World, as they were producing the additional content for World, they could use during the production of Rise, which is not going to be a game as a service.
Yeah.
So,
And
I think that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So, with Rise coming out, they've... it's basically taken everything that they learned from Generations and from World. And so, we just got news today that the... weapons will have a level of customizability to them, as in their movesets.
Yeah, okay, that's actually really cool.
Because up until Monster Hunter Generations, we had, each of the 14 weapon types had a fixed moveset. And then in Monster Hunter Generations, we got the hunting styles, which were variable movesets for individual weapons, meaning now the 14 weapon types had exploded into...
28 at least.
And then Generations Ultimate added 2 more hunting styles.
So you're at well over 50 movesets.
Yeah, and then World tweaked the movesets of the base weapons, and Iceborne tweaked them further. But it was still, I believe it was still a rigid, the Greatsword would always do the same as your buddy's Greatsword. And now in Rise, they're combining that.
Okay.
With the fact that Generations Ultimate also had... flashy anime super moves you could do.
Yeah.
And Rise is incorporating those as well in a customizable fashion. There are a number of them for each weapon. You look
like a goddamn superhero from everything I've seen in Rise.
Yeah, dude, Rise is so aesthetically insane.
Everything I've heard people talking about how you can get across the map without touching the ground.
Yeah, you just use the baguette and blow yourself up.
And then use your insect and grapple everything.
Yeah. It's insane. Rise is the So Worlds took a much more like hyper realistic approach, and Rise is like super fantasy. It's incredible. I'm most certain that there's going to be a huge divide if the later PC release of Rise isn't already creating a divide.
Maybe. It might be hard to. It might be too early to tell on that front.
Yeah.
Well, and even if there is a divide, you've got stories coming out after.
Right. So if you bought a Switch for Monster Hunter Rise, you're going to get it Monster Hunter Stories 2. And Stories looks beautiful. I cried during the first trailer. I cried during the second trailer. I can't believe that this little weird experiment spin-off game did well enough to warrant a sequel, and that honestly makes me really emotional for reasons I can't quite explain.
No, it sounds like typical big series makes a heartfelt spin-off and it does super well and gets a sequel. This is why I love the second Paper Mario so much. The second Paper Mario was probably one of my favorite games of all time.
I do hear good things about it.
It's incredible.
So here's hoping that Stories follows in those footsteps.
Stories 1 is good.
It is.
Well, the track record for spin-off of a game that is very popular, that it gets a sequel, you're in good hands, it sounds like.
And I recently went through and checked out all the other Monster Hunter spin-off games, and most of them were canceled.
Well, maybe they didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
So Stories was the one that made it through.
Monster Hunter was like, we should be Pokemon.
For a little bit, at least.
For a little bit.
Yeah. And it worked, and so like, well, let's do Pokemon with like a story. I mean, you're calling it Stories after all, right?
And the main series games have been telling stories, sort of.
Fight Monster.
Fight Monster.
Big Monkey.
And Big
Monkey.
Oh, Big Monkey's in this game now.
I saw that trailer.
Yep.
There's the Big Monkey.
There's the angriest monkey.
A lot of my friends are upset that the monkey is back because they don't like fighting him.
He is not fun to fight. There's nothing fun about Rajang.
Because he's just a big monkey.
He's a big monkey, and he goes Super Saiyan, and he can throw the entire stage at you.
Imagine a Donkey Kong could do that.
Yeah, right.
Let him be DLC.
Well, actually, I was thinking, the more I looked at Rajang, the more I was like, Rajang should be a boss in Disgaea.
Oh, he should. There's a really severe lack of monkeys in Disgaea.
Oh.
There are no monkeys. There's like there's tree people, there's plant people, there's like gargoyles, there's imps, there's cat people, and no monkeys. Nowhere to be found. Maybe that's what we're missing in Disgaea. Take notes, NIS.
Right.
Take notes.
And so Rajang was suspected to be in the game because this game has a very Japanese feel, and all of Rajang's equipment is very like Oni inspired.
Oh, that's cool.
So like his greatsword is the big like demon rod.
Oh, with the spikes.
With the spikes, it's crazy looking. And we actually got in the trailer today. We got a glimpse of a new Elder Dragon who has a very wide mouth.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, because I am a hyperfixative individual, if this could possibly be based on my all-time favorite yokai and waifu.
Oh, the Yuki Onna.
The Kuchisake Onna.
The Kuchisake Onna.
I have no great love for the snow.
Oh, right. Yuki Onna is the
though
snow.
Anybody who has an anti-foot fetish might want the Yuki Onna as their waifu because she has no feet. But the Kuchisake Onna is a yokai woman who has a slit mouth like Heath Ledger's Joker.
I know which one you're talking about now.
Glasgow smile, it's sometimes called, or a Chelsea grin, depending on what metal band you listen to. So the whole time I've been watching, they got a new bird with who hides itself with an umbrella-like stance.
Oh, that's the umbrella yokai. I was about to ask, where's the umbrella yokai?
It's there. It's a bird, and it looks beautiful. And then they have Tetranodon, which is a kappa. They gave us a Yeti ish thing. They gave us the wedding dress Spider Woman.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
With Rakna Kadaki, and I'm like, are you guys gonna do Kuchisake Onna? Are you guys gonna do Kuchisake Onna?
Do it.
Because you guys gotta do that. She's the best.
They're gonna do it. See, they're learning not just from Pokemon, but from Yokai Watch. Which was very popular. And I don't think Monster Hunter has anything to do with Square Enix other than the crossover events that they've done.
Right.
But Yokai Watch has also done crossover events with Square Enix. So it's possible that Yokai Watch might have touched the brains of some of the Monster Hunter devs.
I mean, yokai are great inspiration. Japan was like,
they love them so much.
Let's just make the most horrifying pantheon of urban legends imaginable.
But they're not all evil.
No.
Some of them are like sneaky and devilish, but they're not all evil.
Yeah. Oh, and since so many Pokemon are yokai, and there's Yokai Watch, and now we have an entire yokai set of Monster Hunter monsters, I'm expecting some damn good fan art to come out of this.
Well, let's pivot, because we're talking about yokai and Yokai Watch, and we're 2 missing characters in Smash Brothers.
Oh, right!
And you know who just bought level 5? Nintendo.
They didn't already own?
Nope.
I don't know anything about...
Oh, well, no. They bought Next Level Games.
Okay.
I'm a mistake. I did my own patch note.
Hey.
But level 5 still works very closely with Nintendo. All the Yokai Watch games are Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't hate it if they put the Yokai Watch guy in Smash Brothers. And he just summoned a bunch of different yokai for his attacks.
That'd be cool. I think that had been... that's been speculation for a long time, and I think the hype for that has kind of dried up.
So has Xenoblade 2.
True.
Oh,
true.
And so has ARMS when Min Min came out.
Hey, you're right.
And you know what I would love more than anything? A Palutena's guidance, but it's Whisper and he gives you wrong information.
Bro.
That's Mario. He sucks at jumping.
You see...
Who's that? That's Bowser. He looks pretty weak. You could probably knock him off the stage very easily.
Oh, that's Pyra and Mithra, the most hyped and wanted characters in all of Smash Brothers.
That's Pyra and Mithra. They're famous across the land. Everybody knows who they are. That's Pikachu. I don't know what that is. Not really sure. I don't have too much information about that. Sorry, bud.
I'm still holding out, man. I'm still holding out for a Monster Hunter rep in Smash, but we got shot down again with the Mii costumes.
You feel my pain.
Yeah. I don't know who Gino is, but I feel very deeply for his following.
I don't know who he is, but he probably is a Gino fan. I asked my friend Joe. I asked my friend Jake. They said he was a Gino fan.
Wow, what a weird tie-in. It doesn't sound like it's spelled.
It felt it in my bones. Realistically, here's my real prediction. If I open up all my clairvoyance available to me, it's Crash and another Nintendo character.
I mean, you're betting pretty safe there.
That's the buntiest bunt I could ever bunt.
Right.
Now my dreams. We're getting another Pokemon game. The last DLC character is supposed to come out at the end of the year. Cynthia.
No.
Yes.
They wouldn't.
They could.
Of all, like, to have another Pokemon rep that is a specific trainer from... I mean, she's been in a bunch of the games, but from one game.
From a game that's coming out again.
Right, sure.
And she could have 3 Pokemon just like Pokemon Trainer.
Oh, God. But it would, like, be Garchomp, Spiritomb, and not Lucario.
Garchomp, Spiritomb, and Roserade.
Nah, fuck it. Make it Gastrodon.
Yeah! The one who got cut. Or just Garchomp.
Just Garchomp.
Just Garchomp. Say goodbye to your Gen 3 rep Smash forever.
Well, we didn't even get a Gen 8 rep yet. Where's Toxtricity?
I don't want him as much as Garchomp.
Oh. His costumes would be so good, though.
Toxtricity's costumes would be very good. I do want another trainer above another Pokemon rep, though. And I don't think Galar Trainer is popular enough. I don't think Gloria is iconic enough.
Gloria's iconic on the internet.
That's not where he gets his info.
I know.
Well, you know what? With Pyra and Mithra, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I was talking about the whole, like, drunken Scotsman stereotype that she's fallen into, not necessarily the
art.
Yeah.
the production of fan material. But yeah, with Pyra and Mithra, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Sakurai does get his ideas from the internet.
Ugh.
I mean, like, there's a million Minecraft videos on YouTube. Min Min's probably the most drawn character of all the ARMS characters.
Can confirm.
Alright, so you can confirm this. Sephiroth is definitely the most popular character for Final Fantasy VII.
Jesus Christ.
And Pyra and Mithra probably have way more art than I'm aware of. Even before Smash.
Right. Again, like, we're not Xenoblade people.
No, we're not. But so if you're a Xenoblade fan, please email us at our webzone. It's still coolcast@gmail.com. Please tell us about this. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't want to look it up on my own.
But yeah, it really has, like, all the wells of potential knowledge have dried up. The last thing was the orchestra leak, and then
that was fake. That was probably fake because of the Monster Hunter Mii costumes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's... Yeah, there's no Japanese people out drinking at bars, leaking information while drunk anymore right now. The only person who knows who's going to be in the game are all working from home. And the only figures of the characters that are going to be in the game are locked in Nintendo headquarters in Sakurai's desk.
Alright, we fly to Japan. We break into Nintendo HQ.
We open that drawer and they get disappointed and then arrested.
It'll be a great story.
Like, was it worth it? No.
Yeah, we broke in to just find out that it was Crash Bandicoot.
And Byleth again.
And Byleth again. Or, I was going to say they're putting Rex in it.
Rex. We felt bad for Rex.
Yeah.
So we decided to put him in the game.
But, like, final DLC character, Sakurai's gotta be saving somebody really special.
Byleth was the last one for the first DLC.
But then he immediately was like, hey, don't be disappointed that it's Byleth, because we got more. I'm working myself to death. It was Satoru Iwata's dying wish.
It was his dying wish to make Smash Brothers the best game ever, so...
Masahiro Sakurai, my dear child, I would like nothing more in my death to know that you will also die.
I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, he
Destiny
was Destiny Bond.
He was the one, he held Code Gen 2.
Oh,
He
Lord.
did it.
That took a weird turn.
It did take a weird turn. Satoru Iwata's credited in XD. I just got the credits again.
Aw.
And at the very end, it's a special thanks for Satoru Iwata.
Nice.
Even though he wasn't dead yet, they just like to thank him.
Right. Like, he's the reason why this franchise isn't dead in the water.
Yeah, he's the reason that everybody still thinks that we can do another two region game.
I was working at a video game bar when Mr. Iwata died, and people would often come up and, like, slur their speech in general. So people would come up to me and go, "Hey, can I get Iwata?" And I'd be like, "No, Mr. Iwata's dead."
Oh no!
And nobody got it.
Oh no! How horrible!
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. You gotta make it levity. You gotta bring levity somehow.
Those are my sensibilities when it came to humor at the bar.
My dreams for Smash are too great for this mortal realm.
My last like crazy Smash, like, this is the character that won't get in that I think should get in and I need it to get in, was Agumon. And every day we stray further and further away from Digimon.
Not necessarily. Cyber Sleuth's on the Switch.
It is, and we got a new game coming out, maybe.
And the TCG's doing very well.
Sure.
And there's the new the new re-release of the Tamagotchis are doing very well.
And that's the whole thing, man. Tamagotchi are such a huge part of gaming history that is really hard to represent in Smash.
Okay.
But Digimon...
But yeah, like, I'm like, how do you put Mamechi in Smash? You don't put Mamechi in Smash. You put Agumon.
Exactly.
And part of the gimmick is that you have to take care of him during the fight.
Oh my god.
And depending on how you take care of him, that's what he digivolves into.
Oh my god.
I solved it. I cracked the code.
Does this have to do with the whole several other character slots thing?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that again?
So, when World of Light came out, it showed that it had like 16 additional character slots for save files for World of Light.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, number one, that Fighter Pass 2 was always planned, which makes sense to me. I think that makes sense to me. Number two, it accounts for characters that have different forms, not counting Pyra and Mithra, because they're the same character. But the down B just changes their moveset and model. They're not counted as two characters. They're just counted as one character.
Interesting.
So, I think there are like 3 slots left based on because Steve is 4 slots. Because Steve is 4 different characters. Steve is Zombie, Steve, Alex, and Enderman. Even though that doesn't change the moveset, it's actually counted as a different character.
Right.
So, I think that after Pyra Mithra, there are 3 slots. So, there's gonna be one for the one more. So one of the DLC characters coming out is gonna have 2 slots. So Agumon doing the thing that I just said is out of the question. But Agumon digivolving into Greymon during the fight is not out of the question.
Oh man.
Or Agumon just staying Agumon because we don't have a small DLC character.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Like all of them are person-sized.
Right.
I think they're all people.
Except Banjo.
Oh, Banjo, he's a bear, yeah. But he's person-sized.
Yeah. And Steve.
Steve is person-sized. He's a person.
But he's like
he's a Lego person.
Yeah.
He's still a person. Yeah, we don't have like an animal other than Banjo. Yeah, this is really strange. Like, because you think about the other kinds of representation in Smash Brothers. Like, we've got Ridley, who's like a dragon. We got a lot of Pokemon. I guess that accounts for a lot of the animals.
Hey, can I say something weird about representation in Smash Brothers real quick?
Yeah?
I am currently working with a kiddo. I work in behavioral health. I don't know if I've brought that up on the cast before, right?
All right.
And I'm currently playing Smash with the kiddo that I'm working with in a group home that is entirely African American.
Oh, there's no black people in
There
Smash.
are no black people in Smash at all. At all.
Playable, no. Definitely not playable. There's like a tan Pokemon trainer skin. But that's not black.
The guy from Bayonetta is an assist trophy.
That's what I was going to say. Like, Rodan is an assist trophy. Yeah. Sakurai. And then we both look at the camera.
Right.
Like...
And, it's... The kicker of that, though, is, like, plenty of characters in Smash are Asian, but you can't tell because they're cartoon characters.
Yeah, like all the Fire Emblem characters. It's a fictional country.
Yeah, but it's clearly got, like, Western origins for the
for the names but they look Asian,
I guess.
Like, and then Joker is from Shibuya.
Yeah, and like Cloud and Sephiroth are like fantasy Asian, right?
Yeah,
I guess in the same sense that the Fire Emblem
characters are
Min-Min's
Chinese. Yeah, because Arms is the real world with Arms. They've confirmed this.
Yeah, Arms is the closest a Nintendo IP has come to being actually in the real world for real.
I think Shulk and Pyromithra definitely are not. Like Shulk's like a blonde white guy.
Yeah. And so it's not like it's on the forefront of Sakurai's mind. If pop culture has taught us anything, it's that Japan has had a very complicated relationship with the outside world.
Yeah. Well, so this doesn't line up with the character slot thing, but there is one game that was originally Nintendo exclusive. That is made by Grasshopper Manufacture, the people who made No More Heroes, who Travis Touchdown got snuffed out of Smash for.
Hell yeah.
Called Killer 7. And Killer 7 is a game where you play as 7 different psyches of one person. And all of that, they're all named something Smith. They are the Smith hive mind.
Okay.
And you play as different people who are blank Smith. The main one, I forget his first name, but he's like a black guy. He's like the main character of
Please
Killer
don't
7.
tell me his name is Blacksmith.
No, it's not. They're all real people. They're people names.
Okay.
There's an old guy who's retired out of the Smith Syndicate, whose name is like Harmon Smith, and then like you play as the 7 current Smith Syndicate members.
Okay.
And yeah, they're all like one's named like Coyote, and then one's a Japanese woman named Kaede, but the main guy is a black guy.
Oh.
And so like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you could swap between 7 different people.
Right. That would bring something cool to the table gameplay wise, and add a little color to Smash.
Yeah, they're all. I think they actually, except for there's 2 Japanese people. All of them are different races, other than the 2 Japanese ones. Like there's Masked Smith, who's like a Mexican wrestler, because he wears he's got 2 grenade launchers.
Okay.
Which makes an interesting moveset for Smash Brothers.
Sure.
There's like Dan Smith, who's like just this like white guy with like black hair. There's like Coyote Smith, who's like I think he's Australian, and he uses knives. Like this
sounds Australian.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh.
This would be cool. I don't think they're gonna do it.
No,
but I'm just thinking of black video game characters that I'm aware of,
which is
not a lot.
Yeah, and and
that's a bigger issue.
That's a bigger issue. That's an issue that we don't have enough knowledge to really like go in depth about.
Not in depth more than like representation is shit for video games.
Yeah, because representation is shit for video games.
It is.
Because right now, video games is made by
either white people or Japanese people.
Japanese people who want to, base off of their own demographic, and white people who want to base off of their own demographic, you know? Because all of video gaming is either like a crazy fantasy world that the Japanese publishers dream up, or the American publishers glorifying war or medieval war.
Yeah. or the new Western developer making this crazy fantasy world where there's like not even representation of anything, and it's just like weirdos.
Right.
Like I'm thinking like Bug Snacks.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like it's like, oh, it's a bunch of puppets.
There are more bug protagonists in video games than there are black human protagonists. Yeah. And there's no Smash doesn't have any Hispanic or Indian or native.
You know who does this really well though? Street Fighter.
Yeah, well, Street Fighter, like ARMS, explicitly is like, this is a global...
Twin Tail!
Yeah!
We could have had Twin Tail!
Yeah, we could have. But Sakurai was in that phase where he was like, good little boys and girls.
Oh my god, Sakurai, you hypocrite. You goddamn hypocrite.
Well, we know it's not his fault.
We know it's explicitly his fault. We made them Smash outfits. You might have noticed.
Yeah, but that's just the state of things. We are it's still cool, and we're here to talk about stuff that's still cool, and what's not cool is
bad representation.
But what is still cool is that people are working really hard to
definitely
make representation. More and more representation conscious people are getting into and
Video
working
games.
in, and video games, cartoons, movies, all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. You look at Cartoon Network, who's doing a mostly something job.
Yeah,
they're actively trying.
They're actively trying, and not only are they actively trying, like even though Steven Universe is over, they're still using those characters and those voice actors and actresses to like say like the heavy shit that no one wants to say. Like I don't know if any of our listeners have seen like the Speak Up adverts from Steven Universe, but like they just go in. Like, they don't even try and mince words. They'll be like, hey, like, you're being taught history wrong. Like, you guys gotta make sure you pay attention to who writes history, because, like, black people are being written out of history right under your nose. Like...
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, Pearl, thank you.
And again, working in this group home where the whole staff is, like, actually from Africa, I don't know anything about Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know a darn thing.
No. And like we've taken world history courses.
Right, world history.
Quote unquote world history, and there's a whole goddamn continent. A whole continent that we know almost nothing about in our current education system.
Right.
Like we learn about a small little portion of it called Egypt.
Yes.
That's all we learn about.
And even then we learn about Egyptians that aren't alive anymore.
Yeah, we don't learn about current Egypt or any of the rest of the whole fucking continent.
Yeah.
A seventh of the planet. Like, think about that. A whole goddamn seventh of the planet.
Oh, well, we're on the subject. What do you know about South America?
Exactly. You learn about dead people there. The Mayans. Like, yeah, okay, cool. What do they do now? Oh, they're dead? Oh, we did that? Uh-oh.
Yeah, right. It's like, well, what do we need to know the history of Africa for? I don't know. Why do we need to learn World War II every single year of high school?
Oh, like, why do I need to know, like, the Civil War? Like, I know who won. I want to learn something different.
I know who won. I know why it was wrong. Why don't you tell us more?
Yeah, like, how much more can you tell me about, like, a shitty battle that happened in the Civil War? Like, really? More and more, like, American history kind of doesn't fucking matter, and world history seems more and more important.
Yeah.
Because, like it or not, we're steering towards everybody in the world talking to each other all the fucking time.
Right. And America, this country is so baby.
We're so baby.
We're one of the youngest countries on Earth, right?
And yeah, and, like, all we learn about is us. Us. That's why we cared about it so much we made it our fucking country's initials.
Us.
God damn.
Yeah.
I want Meowth in Smash Brothers.
That would be... imagine being able to fight Pikachu with Meowth. They didn't put him in Pokken. We got 9 Meowths, and they couldn't put one of them in Pokken?
There's not 9. There's 4.
And they all evolve.
Except for one.
Except for one.
Big.
We missed him in Pokken too. Like, we
Yeah,
got
he
2
should have been in
Pikachus
Pokken.
and no Meowth.
Okay, to be fair though, the 2 Pikachus in Pokken are very good.
I know.
Because Pikachu 1 is Heihachi, and Pikachu 2 is like a spunky little mass wrestler girl.
Pikachu Libre was a great idea to put in Pokken.
Pikachu Libre is so good.
It's disappointing that there's 2 Pikachus, but oh boy.
No, it's not disappointing because they're so different from each other. Because Pikachu 1 is not like a regular Pikachu. He's angry all the time. He's Heihachi. Like, I fucking love it.
But could you imagine, like, their unevolved representation in Pokken Tournament is Pikachu
Pikachus and Krogunk.
and, like, Braixen.
And Braixen, yeah.
Yeah.
But they added Krogunk at least.
They added Krogunk, which is crazy.
Yeah, Krogunk's
like,
great.
They could have done a full-fledged Toxicroak and he would have been cool, but they were like, no, joke character.
He's not a joke, though. He's actually really good.
Croak character.
Croak character. Someone on that team just really loved Krogunk because he used to be just an assist. He was an assist, and then they upgraded him to a character.
Yeah.
God, Pokken. Okay, forget Smash Brothers. We're only getting 2 characters, and we're not gonna like them.
Right.
Pokken 2.
Pokken 2.
Who do we get?
We get...
Who do you want?
Okay.
We get the whole back roster first. They poured everybody over. Number 1, everybody in the first game is in here.
Everyone is here.
Everybody's here.
All right.
So who else are we getting?
So
Toxtricity.
Definitely Toxtricity.
Toxtricity is in. He's in.
And since this game doesn't have starter type diversity imbalance, I would actually really like to see Cinderace. I know we have Blaziken and Charizard.
Cinderace would be excellent, though.
Yeah. But that means that choose between Cinderace and Incineroar. I'd like to give the opportunity to Cinderace since we have Incineroar in Smash.
I think Cinderace. Also, I think Cinderace would make for more of a, because I think Incineroar and Machamp share a lot of similarities in how they would fight.
Oh, definitely.
Like so, but I think Cinderace would be great with like the soccer ball fire move, and it'd be so good. I want +1 Minun as one character.
Dude, they missed their chance in Smash. Let's give it Pokken, right?
+1 Minun on one character, and they have slight differences, and the other one just sits in the back like cheering the whole time, and one of the moves is a switch.
What if no? What if the phase shift?
Oh, that's so good! Yes, that's it.
Because plus looks like a grid and minus is a straight line.
Mm-hmm. That's it right there. The phase shift is how you switch between them. The special they combine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Their special would be like Ion Deluge and Magnetic Flux and like all the plus and minus moves. Like, they're so good. Okay.
I would take, to not oversaturate, I would take Plusle and Minun in that format over Toxtricity for an electric representative.
It doesn't matter because I don't think there's any other electric types other than the Pikachus.
You're right.
Like, I think the Pikachus are the only other electric types. And like, I don't really want Zeraora.
No. Electivire would have been cool.
Electivire would have been cool.
Electivire was one of my like speculations because Electivire and Magmortar are both really like
they're incredible.
They're designs that look so good fighting, and we don't get that. They look silly standing around.
Well, they were also kind of made to be rivals.
Yeah,
like they're great at fighting.
Sorry, Jinx.
As much as like there's already a lot of fire types in Pokemon because there are a lot. There's already like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Heatran.
Oh, another quadruped.
I want a quadruped.
Yeah, but like
I want him to be big and slow and powerful.
Yeah, like an actual tank.
Yeah, like they put there's this game called BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle.
I've played it. There's a tank.
There's a tank. He's just a tank. He
just a tank.
Sits there. You don't even move him. Like
yeah.
Imagine just Heatran just sitting there firing off eruptions. Like,
oh man. I don't know. I was thinking about Pokken as a competitive game recently. Because maybe I'm just not understanding the deeper mechanics, but Gardevoir and Chandelure are kind of busted in a really unfun way.
You have to understand how phase shift works. Because you have to force them out of the straight line phase.
Out of? I can't touch them in the not straight line phase.
You can predict where their shots are going to be more easily in the free arena phase.
Oh god.
Because
I can't even get in.
Because in the free arena phase, their shots can't cover the entire screen like in the straight line phase. Like because like Chandelure, the beam in straight line, you either have to block it or you have to become invulnerable. in the straight line phase, the beam only goes forward, and then the little spread shot that they do always goes out in a predictable pattern.
Well, sure, but I can't even get close to Gardevoir in free mode or free phase.
Also, both of them have a hard counter character, and that's Garchomp.
It's cool. I don't play Garchomp
Because Garchomp can dig.
Right.
And Garchomp is like, hey, you have projectiles? I'm in front of you now.
And both of my characters that I put time into have a stall in the air thing, which I was kind of using to get in, but like the timing on that is so bad. Not as good. So bad.
You know who else I would want as a character? Abra.
Wait, hold on. Just Abra.
Just Abra. Because I want a teleporting character that does very little damage. That just teleports around all the time. Like, I want them to, I want most of their attacks to be teleport. And then I want, Thunder Punch to do, nothing. Ice Punch to do, nothing.
You know standard competitive format has a timer, right?
Mm-hmm. I also want Abra to have no health.
Okay. Catch me if you can,
yeah.
Huh?
Hit me. Oh. I want the weirdos in Pokken too.
That would be...
Because there are so many weirdos.
Very creative.
Another one, Politoed.
Okay.
Politoed. Ranged grappler with the tongue.
Oh.
And lots of jumping. Lots of aerials.
Oh no.
Because he's a frog.
That sounds annoying as hell. And I love how Pokken implements moves to do in-game buffs.
Yeah.
I was just watching today, as a matter of fact, I was just listening to a video about the different archetypes in fighting games. And setup characters are so hit and miss, but in Pokken, almost all of them are setup characters.
Well, because buffing is an essential part of Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's really cool how it's implemented.
They had to do that, and I think that they did a really good job with it. Every character has they're not unique, but they all feel good for that character.
Yeah.
Blastoise doesn't have Shell Smash, he has Rain Dance. And he just tanks back up. And it looks fucking great.
That was a sentence statement.
I want the weirdos. I want Venomoth.
Yes.
Venomoth.
That'd be really good. Okay, no, but to be honest... If they make a second Pokken tournament and everyone comes back, they are contractually obligated to put Venusaur in it.
Yeah, he's the only one missing. And the only grass type is Decidueye?
And Sceptile.
Sceptile.
Sceptile is one of the two Pokemon I put time into. Sceptile's super fun. They gave him a lot of fun. He's just a really weird character.
I initially named Weavile because I really liked Weavile. But then I was playing with Tet. And Tet was playing Chandelure. And I'm like, I can't beat you as Weavile. I can't get in.
Weavile was very challenging to try and play. That was the third character I tried to pick up. Oh, boy.
And so that's when I picked up Garchomp. And I'm like, oh, my boy, Garchomp!
Good gravy. Yeah, I want to phase shift here and go into the macro.
Okay.
And talk about the sustainability of new competitive games.
Okay, new competitive games.
Because, we're in a point right now where, and I can explain this with a Mortal Kombat analogy.
Go for it.
In Mortal Kombat 9, Sub-Zero is transformed into a cyborg, which is a...
New Cybot.
No.
Okay.
That is the wrong Sub-Zero.
Okay.
That is the wrong thing.
Okay.
The original Sub-Zero is transformed into an evil, vengeful spirit. He is considered a wraith? ? Okay. Mortal Kombat has a very complicated...
Okay, so who's the robot?
So, the second Sub-Zero. Fun fact, no Mortal Kombat character has been in every Mortal Kombat game. A Sub-Zero has been in every Mortal Kombat game, but in the first one... In the first game, it's his older brother, who dies and becomes Noob Saibot. So the younger Sub-Zero brother in Mortal Kombat 9 becomes a cyborg. And the story ends with him being a cyborg, and also undead, because Mortal Kombat 9's ending was garbage.
Right.
Mortal Kombat X comes up, and Sub-Zero is still undead, but now he's a human again.
Okay.
And all the promotional material is always Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting.
Yeah, because that's what people want.
We can't evolve past this anymore. Back in the main original timeline, Mortal Kombat took all sorts of crazy risks with its roster. No one has been in every game for a reason. Liu Kang, the protagonist of the game, gets killed off in Deadly Alliance. He's not in it. And he's back in Deception and Armageddon as a zombie.
Yep, I remember that.
It was cool.
Zombie Liu Kang.
Yeah. And character that I had considered cosplaying at one point because those chain thingies on his arms were really cool. And he was Asian, but he was a zombie, so I could get away with that.
Yep.
Right?
So I kind of get where it's going. It's like
there's a status quo in competitive games right now. All the shooters play the same. All the fighting games play the same. With the one exception being Splatoon, which came out and is the only new IP that has gained any ground.
Fighting games, I'm going to have to disagree with you. Because they look the same. A lot of they're all 2D. They're all 2D fighters.
Yeah.
Except for Tekken, which is still being played.
And Soul Calibur, which died. Soul Calibur 6 died on arrival.
Yeah, like it was fun for a little bit, but nobody plays it really anymore. But they do not play the same. Like Guilty Gear is not the same game as Street Fighter.
Sure.
And Skullgirls is not the same game as Guilty Gear.
But they all have a lot of core ideas that are
it's true.
Nothing deviates in a way that sets it so far apart.
Yeah. Nothing. I think part of that is that if it's like a fighting game, quote unquote, a fighting game, because a lot of games are fighting games. You fight in a lot of games.
Sure.
But a fighting game requires a certain set of check marks to be a fighting game.
Yes.
And that's why they all share those check marks.
But so Nintendo tried very hard. After Splatoon was a success, Nintendo was like, okay, we are going to make more games with competitive communities, and then they made ARMS and Pokken, and neither of them sustained.
So here's the thing. The community doesn't come from the developer. The community comes from the fans. If the fans don't want it, it won't have a community.
That's what I mean, though.
Yeah.
These things did not... Because the fans, the people who play video games, the competitive communities that form, we're too entrenched in what's already standardized to spend time getting meta good at ARMS and Pokken Tournament.
I don't think that's why the communities failed for those games. For Pokken Tournament, for the original Pokken Tournament, it was on the Wii U. Nobody fucking had a Wii U.
But Splatoon!
Splatoon was not as big as Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 was way bigger than Splatoon 1. So let's get to Pokken DX and ARMS, because those are on the Switch and people have Switches. ARMS has a bad control scheme. ARMS just has a bad control scheme.
I thought it played marvelously for what it was, but...
ARMS has a very non-intuitive control scheme, especially for online.
Motion
controls and online do not go well together.
Yeah.
So, where a majority of people get better at ARMS, you can't do online. And an in-person tournament is difficult to do with multiple setups because you would need to do 2 TVs. And that's really difficult for a lot of in-person homegrown tournaments to
2
do.
TVs? ARMS has split screen.
It's not as efficient
Well,
as a LAN setup.
True.
Like, especially with how much space you want versus how much you're allowed to do split screen.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Also, I imagine that split screen tanks the fucking frame rate on ARMS.
Probably. I haven't played it in ages.
I've never played ARMS, so I don't know what the performance is like. But I imagine that split screen on that game tanks the frame rate. And that's something you can't have in a fighting game.
ARMS and Pokken were just both very good concepts, in my opinion.
I don't disagree.
And they just appear to have been doomed by circumstances.
I think for ARMS, it was a lot of things. I think for Pokken, Pokken DX wasn't enough of a good sell for people. Because Pokken DX added, 8 characters?
Was it 8?
It was Sceptile, Decidueye.
Oh, not Sceptile. My other main, Scizor. Sceptile's part of the base.
Oh, Sceptile was part of it. Okay, so Scizor, Decidueye, Aegislash.
Mm-hmm. Blastoise.
Grogunk. Was it only 5?
Those guys were all DLC, with the exception of, I think, Blastoise, Aegislash, Decidueye, and maybe one more. I think that all the other, like, air quotes, new characters like Scizor and Empoleon, they were DLC for base Wii U Pokken. Question mark.
But here's the thing. Even if it was only 5, like let's say those were all new, right? Let's
Mhm.
just give them the benefit of the doubt, say they were all new, right? It was 8 characters.
I certainly didn't get the DLC for it.
I didn't either. I didn't even buy Pokken DX, but like, I don't think it was enough of a value sell, because Pokken base game, like outside of the characters, has nothing. That is
true.
That is not a video game.
It was like Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Yeah.
There were no other modes. There was nothing fun.
No, like, and so you take, and it was a $60 game both times.
Yeah.
You look at Skullgirls. Skullgirls was a $20 game with a very in-depth training mode. A training mode that can get you competitive, multiple story modes, and but that's all you need. All you need is multiple story modes instead of one story mode where you pick whatever character you want, and and Pokken's training mode was laughable.
What?
It was not.
Oh well.
Yeah, like it taught you how to play the game, not how to fight people who are good at the game.
Yeah, it didn't have modern labbing. Yeah.
Because every modern fighting game now has the
grid training room.
The grid training room. It also has do these inputs in a row.
Yeah.
Do this. This is the combo. Do this combo.
Pokken had combo tutorials.
Not real combos. It had combos that they thought that the devs thought people should know.
Okay, yes.
Not the combos that were actually being used in competitive. Like there are challenges in Street Fighter that are only for people who are experts at the game. Like in the single player. Like that's what Pokken would need. Pokken needs to be enough of a value sell, because they're always going to sell it at $60 because it's a Pokemon game. We're not going to get away from that.
Yeah.
So how do we make $60 worth it for someone who might not be a Pokemon fan but likes fighting games?
Goodness, and Pokken didn't even have the charm of like arcade ladder endings. Because Pokemon aren't characters.
Yeah, well, they tried. They tried to make those Pokemon characters.
They don't have arcade ladder endings. I want to know what Scizor does when he wins the league.
What does he do with his fight money?
Yeah.
What does Scizor do? Like,
he goes and he rubs it all in Pinsir's face.
Yeah, like that's what I want. Or I want to see like Scizor like training at like a logging factory at the ending. Like
the logging factory from Pokemon Stadium 2.
Like Pokken was so close. Like all the stages were good. All the freaking characters were excellent. I forgot Gengar was in that game.
Oh yeah.
Gengar played great. Gengar was cool in that game.
Gengar was super fun. Gengar was Bayonetta.
Yeah. And then he also had the freaking teleport. That game was so close. It makes me really upset.
Pokemon. So usually what I complain about is that they try to turn Pokemon into characters.
Yeah.
But we had the inverse problem where the Pokken tournament game didn't have enough personality.
Yeah.
And the Pokemon themselves had personality.
Yeah.
Weavile in that game, oh my goodness.
Was such a little bitch.
Machamp, perfect choice. He was great. He looked cool. His animations were cool. Blastoise is having a fucking party. But there wasn't enough of it.
No. Like Heihachi Pikachu, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like, but it just wasn't enough. Like Chandelure doesn't have a personality in that game. Like it smiles with its eyes, but that's about it.
Yeah, and there's no story. There's nothing there. It's like a battle simulator.
Yeah, like Braixen kind of had a personality.
Oh yeah, Braixen too.
But like Lucario doesn't. Like Decidueye doesn't. Like that's why I think Pokken 2 needs weirdos. People love weirdos. Everybody remembers Yoshimitsu. Everybody remembers Voldo.
I love Voldo. He's my main in Soul Calibur 3, but not in any of the other ones because they change his buttons.
They change him every time. I think Pokken 2 needs a little bit more of an overhaul if it's going to come out. I was hoping we would see it during the Pokemon Presents, honestly. I honestly wished for it. I was like, this is kind of realistic and I want it. But we didn't get it. I think it really has potential, but right now they're not focusing on it. And I guess that makes sense to me. We're getting Snap 2. I'm excited for Snap 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the other game that's
Todd's in it. He's there. We saw him. We spotted him in the trailer.
You can't hide him from us.
We can't hide him from us. Our eagle eyes looking for all the Pokemon in the trailer saw Todd.
And don't forget the new feature where you can make Pokemon glow.
Listen, you can't throw a Pester Ball at a Pokemon in 2021. That's not kosher.
I guess not.
Like, think about it.
Team Plasma had a whole game about this.
Yeah, they had a whole... Team Plasma removed... They succeeded in one aspect. They removed pester balls.
Scoundrels.
This apple-shaped fruit. Wait, if apple-shaped, do you mean like you know what an apple is, but it's not an apple?
So we have the berries that are based on fruits, but they're fantasy fruits, but we also now just have...
Apple fruits.
But we also have apples.
Mm-hmm.
Because Generation 8 had apples.
Yep. Because they have applin.
And the apple curry.
Uh-huh.
But we also have the lepa berry.
Uh-huh.
Which is an apple.
No, it's a lepa berry. No. That's Pokemon for you.
Okay.
We haven't even talked about the remakes yet.
Alright. My hot take on the remake is that they're doing a very safe, very true to the original remake, so that they can go absolutely ballistic with Legends and do something super weird that's going to turn everybody off.
It's already turning me off.
Well, not for the right reasons, though.
No, it's turning me off because they did my boy Chingling dirty with sticking him in 3 frames per second.
The game looks extremely rough,
and there's not enough time left to fix it. So what I'm thinking and what I hope is that the footage we saw was very old footage.
That's a possibility.
And then the current build, they're like, just show them something old. We made this trailer last year. Just show them that.
That's true. With everything that's happening, it's very reasonable.
I'm hoping that they made that trailer last year, and they're just showing us right now. Because goddamn, that game looks really rough.
Yeah, and they didn't show us anything interesting.
Nope, they showed us a bunch of Shinx staring at a wall, and they caught one. And then they showed us a Chimchar who was just in a field.
And then they showed us another field.
And another field, and the same field.
What do we love about Sinnoh?
The different climate and areas.
The diverse environment.
Uh-huh.
The incredibly fleshed out region.
Yep. And
which we saw none of.
Sinnoh is all the same fields and sometimes a beach.
You can get closer to Mount Coronet, but you can never go there.
Nope, you can't go inside it. We haven't mined it out yet.
Yeah, and the Pokemon need more than just an idle standing animation.
You mean the idle standing animation they've used since X and Y?
Yup. It just looks very dead.
Happy 8th birthday, X and Y.
You good for nothing jump to 3D.
The only region we never went back to in any capacity. No sequels. No nothing. God damn, they really hate you just as much as everybody else hates you, huh? Huh, Kalos. If Pokemon needed a punching bag, I suppose this is it.
It's the generation that gave us
Mega Evolution.
Hoenn remakes.
Like everything that everyone wanted. And then nobody wanted it anymore. And then, yeah, so Legends, like, I hope it's good, but like I said earlier, I don't like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So
it's a good direction for Pokemon.
Well, it sounds like Nintendo hired that guy that everybody says they should hire. You know when you see like Mario running an Unreal Engine and he's running through a blank field with nothing in it, and there's a YouTube comment that says, "Nintendo, hire this man."
Ah!
They did it. They hired him for Pokemon. And I hope everybody gets their wish.
Oh. Jirachi is the monkey's paw.
Jirachi was the monkey's paw all along, and now Arceus has come to reap the sinners. I mean, I hope it's cool. I really do. I never want a game to be bad.
Sure, no, we're not asking for the game to fail,
but it doesn't look great right now from where we stand after it being shown to us and knowing literally nothing else about it. It doesn't look great. Yeah. All we have are hopes.
Maybe by the time we get around to making episode 8 of this podcast, the new footage will come out that will put our fears to bed.
I'm hoping that every month until then we get something, because it's like 25th anniversary year.
Yeah.
And so, like, the rest of the franchise is still doing something every month. Like, they're releasing old cards every month.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're going to be doing stuff every month, and I hope that means news. Because we surely need it, or else people aren't going to buy that game. Like, it's bad. Oh, boy. Well, it sounds like the train's coming into the station.
Very much. we are uncomfortable, and we have called the train to pick us up from our friend's house.
And so the train is here, and it's tooting its horn outside, and that means it's time to say goodbye.
I've been Jesse.
And I've been Tony.
And boy, oh boy, we love Pokemon so much.
Is it still cool? Yeah, of course it is.
Of course. It's never not going to be cool, but like...
Oh boy. Well, even if it's not Pokemon, it's still cool.
It's still cool.